Yo, what's good? Everyday Superpower signing in for a little chat. Some game. We talk about body language, non-verbal communication, and general communication on this page. Interesting stuff. We learn how to communicate efficiently and, understand others and get what we want in regards to our communications. If you want the real game and you want to assess body language in real time, just click the link down in the description. That's where I sort of do the real time analysis, and you'll be able to join the conversation with me in that regards. But today we're going to talk about schemas. Well, what's a schema? And we're going to talk about priming somebody's mindset. Well, what's that? So, as far as a schema is concerned, we all have them. It's any concept we have within our mind, yeah? And what we associate with that particular concept. So we all exist together and we all have different perspectives. We all have different mindsets and we all perceive things in different ways. Okay? So if I want you to perceive something in a particular manner, if I want you to buy my product, if I want you to look at me as handsome or cute or, devilish or anything, right? It would aid me in priming your mind into feeling that way. All right? So we have nodes within our brain what work on a non-conscious basis, right? We're not talking about the conscious mind here, although you could consciously perceive something and it would still have the effect, but the majority of this is going to work completely outside of your awareness. Now we're going to get into deep game here that is utilized in advertisement, smart marketing, sales, seduction, and controlling the masses on a large scale. Okay? This is some big brain stuff we're going to talk about, so please be patient with me. The schema is a general concept. So when you go onto Wikipedia and you search Volkswagen, the car manufacturer, right? And you look at that Wikipedia page, you will have different links on that Wikipedia page that link to different associations and ideas and concepts that link off of that one concept, such as the engine, such as awards, such as controversies potentially, such as where it's based. So it's manufactured in Germany, it's a German vehicle, and then we associate that German vehicles with what? World War II. We associate Germany with the German food. We associate it with, so on and so forth. Right? So this is what I'm speaking of. We have a different set of pathways that lead off in these 100,000 different directions depending on what we are engaging with one way or another within our brain, right? So when I prime something, let's get into it, yeah? If you yourself want to have a girl you're interested in feel that you are beautiful, you can prime her mind prior indirectly by exposing her to things she would consider beautiful, gorgeous, magnificent, pretty. And that will have a knock-on effect on her perception of reality, which will then influence her into perceiving you a little more so in that light. If you watch a morbid television program or documentary or drama where it's left on a gruesome cliffhanger, and then the advertisements come on and it's a happy buoyant McDonald's advertisement, you're still gonna see that McDonald's advertisement through the lens of what you have been primed to perceive and look at the world within. It's going to be detrimental for McDonald's to advertise after you have been primed to look at the world in a negative manner, in a gruesome manner. If a pet shop wants to advertise after a program regarding generosity, giving opportunities to the homeless and to those in need, they may boost their sales as they have you primed for generosity and care and giving. It might become a good idea for you to go out there and look after a pet, an animal that needs that care and assistance, because you have been primed to associate that moment through a lens of generosity and care and good benefit to other things and other people and to whatever you wish to project that feeling upon. If I'm in conversation with a beautiful woman and I ask her how she's doing and she asks me how I'm doing and I'm saying life's a pleasure, indirectly I've engaged with her on a basis as to which I have sparked her neural pathways with the word pleasure, as to where she can link it to, non-consciously link it to each and every single thing she finds pleasurable. And now through one way or another, that has entered the conversation in reflection of me. Whereas if I talk about that drama program I saw the other day, which was morbid and gruesome and horrible and distasteful, I don't need to go into the details of the program, but if she has seen it, I have now primed her to perceive reality at that moment in time through that lens, so she will potentially perceive me in a lesser way, as to which I could have engaged on a more positive, pleasurable schema. When you are eating in a restaurant and you see a little bit of grime in the corner of the room, or potentially somebody's left the toilet is too close to the eating arrangements and you've paid attention to that, that is going to prime you to treat the environment with a little less respect, as to whether you have entered the premise and it has smelt wonderful and clean and there is no grime because it's been cared for and catered for perfectly. There is no toilet on the restaurant floor. You're going to act in a different way without you even knowing about it. You see where I'm coming from? It's priming and engaging and sparking up these ideas within the other person's mind, which then connects and links off into each and every concept that they have prepared already through their life, linking from one to the other, to the other, to the other. If I speak to someone and tell them it's my lucky day today, I feel good, I'm feeling fantastic, and I reference the number 7, it's the 7th today, indirectly I will engage the schemer of good luck as to where they might go and feel influence to go and buy a scratch card. This is how mind readers influence other people to choose what they have already pre-chosen. They influence the individual by indirect, persuasive techniques, utilizing words and an environment to spark up these areas of the brain which engage and perceive reality in a particular way. You don't need to consciously be aware or have me explain to you that I am a sensual being and you perceive me as quite a seductive, romantic individual. When I have a beautiful Renaissance painting within the living room of mine you are sat in, just outside of your peripheral vision, but it exists and you passed it when you walked in through the door. The painting of the scantily clad woman portrayed in a beautiful, artistic, rich and tasteful way. But you best believe your brain picked up on it. Whereas maybe you've come into the room and you have seen, or maybe your brain has picked up on this through an unconscious basis, but you not consciously have paid attention to it. Images of hillsides, images of mountainous regions. And now you, without knowing where you've conjured this idea, are perceiving me through the lens of well-travelled. And what's your schema for the well-travelled? How do you perceive that? Maybe I'm intelligent, well-cultured. Maybe I have taste. Maybe you perceive me above and beyond yourself because you don't perceive them qualities and you haven't had that experience. Maybe you'd like to join me on that experience and you're looking at me in a higher fashion because you have been primed outside of your conscious awareness to perceive me in this light. You see where I'm coming from? What comes before? Your boss has been given some bad news, right? And then you go to inquire with your boss for something completely irrelevant to that. You don't know about it, but he's now perceiving you in a bad light because of the bad news he has received beforehand. He's been primed to perceive his reality through a negative lens. And now you are existing within that reality. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let's make one up. I want the homeless people in the city centre to be given more by the passers-by. So what I need to think of is how do I prime the people on a larger scale to feel more generous and to unconsciously be persuaded and moved into that manner as to where they feel like it's a good thing to do. How would you do it, given the information I've just provided? We could use words. We could use imagery. How would you do it? If we want the odds to be in our favour, we shouldn't just go, we can't fine-tune every moment of our existence, but we shouldn't just approach it full stop like a battering ram. We should tickle it into compliance slowly but surely and ease the result into our hands, as opposed to leaving it as a yes or a no. A little bit of colour psychology. If you're attending a job interview and you're wearing a tie, you could wear a red tie, which engages the interviewer with the perception of potentially dangerous, powerful, dominant. Evolutionarily speaking, red represents fire. And you have engaged that schema and primed that individual before even saying hello. From their first view of you, that's what they have seen. As opposed to wearing a blue tie, which could represent calmness, level-headedness. You have engaged a schema and their perspective of who you are through planting a seed within their mind, which is engaged the circuits that connect to that one particular idea and concept. All it is the colour red, right? But what does it symbolically create within that person's mind? Before you get to your job interview, you walk down a corridor to the office of this individual. And such as we spoke before, the corridor is a blaring red. And it looks good. It looks regal, right? And that's how you will perceive the individual when you enter the room. As we said before, what are the photos on the wall in that corridor representing? Yeah? How many floors is there in the building? Is there 13 floors? Did you pick up on that? Without you even being aware, you may now perceive your experience as one of misfortune. You may feel influenced outside of your awareness that things aren't going to go well. It's unlucky number 13, right? Each and everything influences you. This is what advertisers do. This is what McDonald's is doing to you as you drive down the motorway. This is what Nike is doing as it associates itself with the person you want to be. When you wear Nike clothes and you feel more athletic, even though you're not. Even though the t-shirt is no different to a t-shirt you would get elsewhere. Due to what Nike associates itself with, it engages your brain to perceiving your reality in a separate manner. This is what you can engage with other people because you best believe it's happening to you right now in 100,000 different ways, whether the people influencing it is aware of it or not. And the people influencing it might not even be people. Mother Nature might influence your perception upon other people and your engagements. You best believe when you are listening to me, it's always going to be a pleasure because I will always give you what you need. You see what I'm doing? You see the inside messages that are conveyed when I speak in such a manner, the seductive manner as to which you speak when you engage in such a way. So never ever utilize negative words and destructive words and disgusting environments and conversational practices when it comes to making friends or engaging in a positive light or having people perceive you in a positive way. Or you could just be a normal human being, because you best believe you're not going to be considering this 24 hours a day. You are going to continue engaging like a normal person, but just be aware that there is an incredible great deal of outsider influence when it comes to how people look at you at the exact moment you are looking back at them. And a lot of it is outside of your control, okay? You might know someone for 5 years and be best friends, but they just might not like you one day purely as they have been primed into not doing so through what they have experienced through the day, the week, the month, the year, the environment. So pay close attention. I'm signing out. Peace.